We're going to be talking to some of the top winners. And you can see this, it's on the mspsuccess.com website here. And really recognizing the excellence and leadership in the MSP industry in a first of its kind awards. And so you can see of what it was. I mean, I don't know if there was anywhere else in the world where you could get so many IT geeks dressed up in tuxedo and black tie there. And so, just really being able to honor the industry. And Michael, and you were there with the Kaseya team, and kicking this off, I want to talk about of the award that you had. You had a couple of different awards that were being presented. So maybe talk a little bit about input for those that weren't there about the award, the gala itself there. But talk about the award, kind of what you're doing, a little bit about Kaseya as well for those that are not familiar, if they've been living under a rock somewhere.
Yeah, thanks, Jeff. Yeah, so I'm Mike DePalma. I'm the SVP of MSP Enablement. I will say, Jeff, that award ceremony could not have gone any better. It was such an amazing thing, and it was cool to see. I've never seen any MSP in a tuxedo, let alone a few hundred of them. But the excitement there, it was genuine. I mean, a lot of times MSPs, the unsung heroes. So to actually get rewarded and recognized for the things that you're doing for the business community, it was pretty amazing. So so we gave out 2 awards. We gave out a Partner of the Year, but this one was our Community Involvement Award. I oversee the enablement org, so our team is the one that's out on the road doing events, doing the road shows, MDF, and all the rest. And so when we were looking at who would qualify for this, a lot of times you get an MSP and you've grown, and that's the goal, right? Is to get to a point where you're financially independent. Maybe you do have some time to do various different things. Some people want to go fishing every Friday afternoon. There's nothing wrong with that. But there's a core group of MSPs that take their time and spend it out on the road, giving it back to the community. And there are not a lot of industries that have people like that will take their own personal time. And so it was difficult. We had a lot of really good nominations. These are folks that I've known for a really long time. But when we looked at it, I said, look, I have a lot of frequent flyer miles. I think the only one that's got more is maybe Will Nobles, because he's out, really sharing his wisdom with MSPs all over the globe. And so I was extremely excited, to be able to present that award to Will and Vector Choice. This was kind of near and dear to my heart, this award specifically. And I'm so proud of Will. Definitely well deserved.
I appreciate it, Mike. And it's so crazy that I was speechless, and it's a lot. It takes a lot for me not to talk. And I was speechless. And after I went back around, I went to my wife and I said, 1, did you know? And 2, what did I say when I was up there? So I want to say thank you guys so much to Mike and the Kaseya team and the executive team, Fred, and all of you guys. It was an honor. I love doing this. I love giving back to the community. So thank you.
It might be more surprising to see you speechless than the MSPs in the tuxedos. I don't know what's more surprising.
That's true. That's true.
Hey, well, so you do a lot of speaking all around the country. You do it with the TMT crowd. You do it with Kaseya. Kind of what, and it's not because you just like to talk of where you're really an example of MSPs. I mean, talk just real briefly for those that don't know who you are about your business, and kind of that quick version of what the growth pattern has been over the last 4, 5, 6 years.
Yeah, so like a lot of you guys, I've got a technology background. I've got 2 degrees in engineering. I started the company in 2008. I joined TMT in 2016, where I was 1.2 million. So 08 to 16, I only grew up to 1.2. And I say, and I know, and that's still my ambition. That's still slow to me. And so when I joined, and I actually started doing marketing and sales the right way, or at all, that's where we grew, and we took off from there. So we ended this year at 18 million, a little over 18 million this year, and so it's been a journey. I've had to shift my thinking of being a tech and an engineer to be a business person. So you asked me 7 years ago, would I be on stage? Would I be talking? Would I be actually talking to you guys and feel comfortable? It would have been me at the Titans Award frozen. That would have been me 7 years ago. And today I just love giving back. I love educating. I think a lot of people ask me, why do I do it? And why do I give all the secret sauce away? Here's the thing, the world's too big. I have MSPs I coach in every market that we're in, and I don't run across them. So the markets are so big that the world's too big to not share the knowledge that I have.
So I mean that's a huge growth from 1.2 million to 18 million, something that almost all MSPs don't do. It's almost a unicorn at that point of being able to have that type of growth and still growing as a business. So what can you share of your success secrets that have allowed you to do that when most others have a tough time even getting past the $2-3 million mark?
I think so many, as I coach so many MSPs on this, everybody's in a mindset, I'm not worth what they really need to charge. And if you think about a plumber, if you call a plumber today, it's expensive to have a plumber just to come out for 1 hour, right? But us as IT, we've allowed the industry to drive us that we're just IT guys, right? And we're not a specialist in the field that we are. We're protecting businesses. And when you get in a mindset, it's not a cocky mindset, but you get into I'm sure in myself, I know what I'm doing. My company is good, and we can help and actually give back to the companies we protect and serve. That's when you get the confidence to raise your pricing. And so I think number one is you've got to look at your pricing. I'm actually here coaching, and a guy was charging $115 an hour for break fix. I'm like, that's way too low. You cannot charge that. And so I think it's what you charge and the pricing, and make sure you're getting what you actually deserve, and understand what your cost behind what your pricing is. A lot of people just listen to a guy like me on a recording and say, oh, I need to charge this per seat. Well, what I charge per seat is going to be different than another MSP, because my cost is going to be, my tool set's going to be different. My cost of the tool set's going to be different. My labor cost is going to be different. So you got to really know your cost to know what to actually charge. So I think pricing is definitely number one. Number two is knowing your numbers, managing by the numbers. Make sure that you know what a good MSP should look like. What's the best in class? I'm not saying everybody wants to be best in class, because sometimes the best in class is overused, but what is that? What are those numbers that you need? What are the metrics you need to be at to be a successful MSP? So numbers is definitely the second thing for sure.
Yeah, I think that's a huge thing that you've really learned over time, especially being a business owner and a true business owner versus that engineer that you started out, to be able to know your numbers. Talk a little bit about what Kaseya does in helping you to grow your business, helping you to watch your numbers.
I will tell you, and this year has been rough. Getting new logos, every MSP, even myself, and I don't care if you're the big giant MSPs of the world or the $300,000 companies, it has been hard this year to get new logos. I think one of the best things that Kaseya came out with at Connect was the Case 365 product. And so when we moved over to that, and all savings if I look at what I was paying before with the same tool set, I'm saving a little over $8 per endpoint at 10,000 endpoints. That's a lot of drinking money. No, I'm just kidding. But that's a lot of money saved. That's a lot of money that goes to the bottom line. That's a lot of money I can give raises. That's a lot of money I can hire more people to offset. I can hire more sales and spend more money in marketing to grow the company to the next level. So that's what the biggest thing this year that Kaseya has done for my business is where I'm not getting the net new clients as fast enough, but I'm renewing existing clients with account management and renewing them, but I'm renewing them even a higher price, but my cost is a lot lower than it was before. So that's the biggest thing, that Kaseya has helped me with this year for sure.
Michael, do you want to expand upon that a little bit about maybe kind of what led to that introduction of Kaseya 365, and now I think 365 users, the new second version now of that, and then what other programs do you have with Kaseya to be able to help out partners such as well obviously there's got to be some things. If I know Will travels around the country and does things of speaking on Kaseya's behalf to be able to coach them and talk with them. So maybe talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, look, Kaseya 365 was probably a decade-long journey to get here. In the last couple of years, I come over from the Datto acquisition, so I've been with Kaseya about 2.5 years, and we were talking about IT Complete, single pane of glass, something that partners were asking us for, right? Ease of use, and all the rest. But to take that platform and turn it into a product, was a journey to get there. But the ultimate goal is exactly what Will mentioned. We do a lot of studies. Average MSP makes 10% profit margins. You look at, you're talking about plumbers, but think about attorneys and accountants and the kind of profitability they have. And so for us, when we look at how is our partners going to grow, they're going to grow in 3 different ways. They're going to add new logos, which, can be difficult. They're going to expand their existing offering to their existing clients, or they're going to make themselves more efficient. And I think this kind of checks off all 3 of those boxes. In terms of what else we're running, I mean, I'm blessed to be part. I mean, I'm on the run the MSP enablement team. We've got about 65 people on the team, and these are not quota carrying people. These are folks that are dedicated to try to help our partners grow. So things like our marketing developments fund program. We're actually in budget negotiations right now with finance, trying to double that because we've seen such success with providing our partners with not just the funding, but with resources behind it that could help plan the event, send people out from my team to go present at those events. Some of the best relationships I've made with MSPs are folks that I've gone and done MDF events for 10 years ago and still stayed close with. The other piece, we've got what's called Power Services Pro, and we also have True Peer. That's our peer group that I also oversee. That's where I get a lot of the information that Will was mentioning, figuring out your all-in seat price. It really is just about command over your business, command over your numbers. And to Will's point again, it's taking that tech hat off, that engineering hat, and putting a business owner hat on. It's really fulfilling for me to see the growth. And folks that back when I was in sales 10 years ago might have onboarded and there was a single man shop, and now they've got 15 employees and they own a building. To see that journey, that's the fun part of my job.
Yeah, very, very cool with it. So, Will, I mentioned that about you going around. I know you, I don't know how many events that you speak at for Kaseya, but what is it that you're doing? Like, why do you give back with that? That's a lot of it with the community involvement. You do it with us, but we pay you. They don't even pay you to do this, as far as I'm aware. But I know it's a giving back. Like, what does it mean for you of being able to give back to the community?
See, Jeff, you should have asked what could Kaseya do for me next, and that's giving me a private plane so I can fly around the country. No, I'm just kidding.
No, you're not kidding, but
no, I'm not kidding. But talk to Fred about that. So no, I do a lot of Kaseya locals. I've spoke at DattoCon. Obviously I do a lot of TMT speaking, rapid boot camps, road shows, and stuff like that. And to me, I think it's changing one life at a time, and it's sort of changing one MSP at a time. Because if I can get everybody to level up, and there's a little selfish in it as well, I'm not gonna lie. If I can get everybody to level up, I don't have so hard of a time convincing people they should pay higher pricing for my clients, right? If everybody and I think I see when I'm coaching, I literally see $18 per seat to $500 per seat. And we all think, how in the world are you surviving at 18? And they're not. They're barely getting by. They're dropping the balls. And I wish I could charge 500, right? And there's a magic somewhere in between that. But, really just to get people a line of how to run a business. And I just enjoy it. I enjoy it more than running an MSP. But let's put it that way. MSP has given me a lot of gray hair and a lot of stress over the years. And it's great. It's a great business, especially when you get that recurring revenue model. It's sure money coming in every single month, but it's not as gratifying anymore as teaching for some reason. I love it.
Yeah, and you've got a great team at Vector Choice that runs the day-to-day. You're overseeing. You're learning what you're coaching there and constantly improving what you do. And I see it in the business there. Will is one of the most generous people of sharing his time. Just to have an MSP that's doing 18 million in revenue, highly profitable, to be able to get out there in the community and talking with you. It doesn't happen much. And so well deserved with this award, even if it made you speechless here a couple weeks ago there. Guys, any last comments before we wrap up and jump to one of our next fast growing MSPs?
I would just say, I mean, I know, you showed some of the videos about boot camp. Those are the events where you're going to get a lot of value. Listening to people like Will, all us vendors, we've got great stats and we talk and I hope you listen. But the best thing you're going to do is make connections within the channel. Just about across the board, every successful MSP I know has either, whether it's a formal peer group or just a group of other MSPs to bounce ideas off of. I think that's one of the most common successful methodologies to get to where you are. So go to those events and get a lot out of them. Go in with an open mind and try to meet as many people as possible.
Yeah, and the last thing I have is, thank you to Kaseya and Michael and the team for honoring the award. That was awesome. And I think my final thoughts about going into 2025. Invest in marketing and sales. Grow your company. People don't know you're out there. Referrals and things like that dry up pretty quick as a company as you're growing. And then give back. Mentor. I don't care if it's one person or a community. Mentor someone. Give back to share your knowledge of what you've learned. Because a lot of times you will learn more about yourself and where you need to improve by just mentoring.
All right, great guys. I appreciate your time here today, and Will, for sharing with the community as you always do.